On the evening of June 22nd, 1977, the vast emptiness of southwest Queensland, Australia, became the stage for what would become one of the most extraordinary alien encounter claims ever documented. At approximately 11 p.m, as the temperature dropped toward freezing in the remote Australian outback, 47-year-old gold prospector Albert Smith sat alone at his camp along the isolated Bulu River. The night sky above him was clear and expansive, stretching endlessly over the rugged landscape that had been his seasonal home for the past 5 years. Albert's attention was drawn upward when he noticed 3 unusual lights moving through the darkness. Unlike the familiar patterns of aircraft or celestial bodies, these lights behaved with deliberate intent, descending silently toward his position. As Albert watched with growing amazement, the mysterious objects slowly lowered themselves into a clump of trees near his campsite. In the glow that emanated from the landing site, Albert could make out 3 tall, cigar-shaped craft, each approximately 50 metres in height. Each of the vehicles rested on 5 supporting legs that extended from their bases. More astonishing than the craft themselves was what happened next. Amid dazzling lights, figures began to emerge from the vessels. They all appeared very human, Albert would later recount, but their skin was a blue-grey colour. The beings approached his camp with apparent confidence, moving in a way that suggested both curiosity and purpose. Albert observed that despite the near-freezing temperatures, the females among them wore what appeared to be summer clothing, while the males were dressed in what he described as grey businessmen's suits. One of the beings identified himself as Bainar, presenting himself as the leader of the group. When Albert, overcoming his initial shock, reached out to touch Bainar's arm, he was struck by the unusual texture. "When I touched him, it felt like I was touching very soft rubber," Albert reported. Communication with the visitors proved equally strange. Albert noted that they could speak English, but only in whispered tones, and they appeared to supplement their verbal communication with hand gestures. However, most disconcerting to Albert was their apparent ability to anticipate his questions. "When I asked them questions, they seemed to know what I was going to say before I said it," he explained. "I think they only permitted me to ask what they wanted me to. I'm sure they had control of my mind for those 2 days." According to Albert's account, there were 35 beings in total, both men and women, who claimed to come from a place called Begawa. While some remained near his camp, the majority made their way down to the Bulu River. During his interaction with one of the female beings, Albert was told something that defied human understanding of ageing and lifespan. "One woman told me she was 490 years old," Albert recalled. "She looked it too, like a mummy from some sort of Egyptian tomb." The visitors' physical capabilities proved equally perplexing. Albert watched in astonishment as they engaged in recreational activities that no human could replicate. At one stage, they all started to play a game with hundreds of these balls, which seemed to throw out lightning, he described. Even more impressive was their mobility. These people could leap 60 metres in one jump, a distance far beyond human capability. Perhaps most remarkable was their apparent ability to manipulate matter and natural forces. Albert claimed to have witnessed the beings disappear, then reappear at will, demonstrating control over their physical presence that suggested technology far beyond human understanding. The otherworldly visit lasted for 2 full days, during which Albert felt both fascinated and frightened. As the beings prepared for departure, Boehner made a final demonstration of their advanced capabilities. Just before they finally disappeared, the leader told me he was going to make rain, Albert said. A short time later, it suddenly started to pour. It was 8 days before the rain stopped. When the time came for the craft to leave, Albert found himself unable to witness their departure. I wanted to see their craft taking off, but again I think they controlled me, he explained. I was lying in bed and could not get up. It seemed like I had 200 kilograms of lead on my legs. After they had gone, the only evidence of their presence was, quote, a very heavy smell of kerosene. Albert noted that there were no marks or objects left to prove their existence. This remarkable encounter in June 1977 was not Albert's first experience with what he believed to be extraterrestrial visitors. Since beginning his prospecting work in the area 5 years earlier, he had reported 3 previous UFO sightings. In the winter of 1973, he claimed to have witnessed a fleet of 16 spacecraft hovering over the region before they moved away. His second encounter came in May 1974 when he approached a cigar-shaped craft hovering above the ground. On that occasion, Albert reported seeing men in what appeared to be a cockpit area and a woman visible at one of the windows. The craft reportedly departed in what appeared to be a flash of light. 2 years later, in June 1976, Albert claimed to have seen another brilliantly illuminated craft in the same area. The 1977 Bulu River encounter, however, represented a significant escalation in these experiences, from distant sightings to direct prolonged contact. When interviewed by the Brisbane Sunday Sun in January 1978, Albert, whose real name was withheld at his request, expressed both his determination to obtain proof and his apprehension about returning to the site. "I have not yet approached the authorities about this," he told journalist John Dux. "A lot of other things happened which I don't want to talk about at this stage. No one will believe me until I get proof, and that's what I intend to get as soon as I possibly can." Despite his fear, Albert had planned to return to the location in late February 1978, this time equipped with a camera. "I have begun to document all these experiences," he stated. "I'm very scared and frightened about going back, but they did not harm me the first time. I hope they won't if they visit me again." Albert's account was later catalogued in UFO research publications as a Type B encounter, the letter code devised in the mid-1970s by investigator Ted Blocher for his HUMCAT or humanoid catalogue. Type B specifically denotes incidents in which a humanoid is seen actually entering or leaving a UFO. Under the broader older system created by Dr. J. Allen Hynek, the same event was logged as a CE3, a close encounter of the third kind, which involves simply observing occupants in or around a UFO. The Bulu River incident bears several hallmarks common to reported alien encounters: beings with unusual skin colour and texture, advanced technological capabilities, apparent telepathic abilities, and demonstrations of control over natural elements. The detail regarding the visitor's ability to create rain on command is particularly notable. While humans have developed cloud seeding technology, a weather modification technique that involves dispersing substances like silver iodide or dry ice into clouds to stimulate rainfall, our methods require aircraft, specialised equipment, and considerable time to produce modest results. The aliens' apparent ability to generate immediate, sustained rainfall that lasted 8 days suggests a technological mastery far beyond our rudimentary weather modification capabilities. This control over natural elements, combined with the reported duration of the encounter, 2 full days, represents an unusually long period of contact relative to other UFO encounters, sets this apart from the vast majority of others. What makes Albert's account especially intriguing is the combination of mundane and extraordinary details. The visitors wore recognisable clothing styles despite their alien appearance. They engaged in recreational activities, suggesting cultural practices not entirely unlike our own. Yet they demonstrated capabilities that violated known physical laws: extreme jumping distances, control over matter, and apparent mind control. Albert's claim that the beings could disappear then reappear suggests either advanced technological capabilities or perception manipulation. Similarly, his inability to observe their departure due to sudden immobility points to possible psychical or technological means of ensuring their craft remained unseen during takeoff. The aftermath of the encounter left Albert with mixed feelings: determination to obtain proof, but also fear of what might happen should he encounter the beings again. His decision to withhold his real name when speaking to the press reflects the common concern among those who report alien encounters: the fear of ridicule or disbelief. Whether Albert ever returned to the Bulu River with his camera, and whether he obtained the proof he sought, remains part of the unresolved questions surrounding this case. What is clear is that his account joins thousands of others in the global catalogue of alleged alien encounters, stories that collectively challenge our understanding of humanity's place in the cosmos and raise the persistent question, are we alone? The 1977 Bulu River encounter stands as one of Australia's, if not the world's, most detailed and intimate alien contact claims. A case marked by vivid details, dozens of beings, unprecedented extended duration, and a witness who, despite fear, was willing to attach his experience, if not his real name, to the public record. It remains a compelling chapter in the ongoing human effort to document and understand apparent contact with intelligences beyond our world.